All right. What's up, everybody? How are you today? Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of Uncorked with Tea. This is a weekly live show where we talk to interesting people about their talent, about their business, and about their community contributions, and we drink wine while we do it. And our guest this week is Savannah Tibby. Oh, I got new sound effects, so I got this for you. All right, you ready? And our next guest is Savannah Tivey.
Hell yeah.
That's just for you, bro. How are you?
Today was my last day of work, so I'm
Oh, I didn't know that. Last day, like by choice, or
sort of kind of. So like the deal is like we usually get laid off before like a couple days before Christmas, and it's January 15th. Yeah, there's still a whole nother week of work, and I looked at my boss. I was like, I really just can't do this anymore. I have a really bad ear infection, if I'm being honest. So like I just can't. It's getting cold. My joints are terrible. But it's good. It's good. I spent all day dumping trucks that needed to be dumped. I spent the day by myself working. It was awesome.
All right. At least you had a good last day.
Yeah, got out early too. Got out at like 2:30.
Okay. That's nice. Mm-hmm. That's nice. So you are 24. You're going to be 25.
Yep.
And I wanted to say that because one, you're drinking, and two, you look so incredibly young. You look so young. So I want everyone to know that she is of age, okay?
No, I do. Everyone tells me I have like a baby face. So
you do.
And 9 times out of 10, I don't get carded. But when I do, I'm like, thank you.
Right? I got carded last week, and I was just like, you beautiful angel.
Right?
Oh, you beautiful angel. I broke my neck getting that shit out. Just So I wanted you to come on the show because I want to start to talk to people in different eras of their life, not just about your life, but 2020 was nuts, knuckin' futs, a whole different kind of nuts, and 2021 is starting off different.
Oh my God,
starting off different. So I want to know what life is like for you in your early 20s, because I can't imagine going through this shit. In my 20s, I'm in my late 30s, and I process things differently because I've lived longer. I've had different experiences. So I want to know what life is like for you going through 2020 in your fucking 20s, you poor thing. Let's talk about it.
So like starting my 2020 was not the best. I was still in a terrible place. I was a terrible human being, if I'm being honest. I went through a really bad breakup, still was learning how to do life without that person, dealing with that heartbreak. So got the ball rolling for myself. I made a lot of better self choices. I started doing a lot of stupid stuff, but stopped at the same time. Like I stopped smoking. I started going out with my friends more and like being present in the moment, because I sometimes suck and I'm really like just scrolling Facebook, just not paying attention. You know what I mean? So like started going out more, talking to new people, really focusing on my work. My job has been hands down probably the biggest life-changing thing for me in 2020 and continuing. I up and left retail. I was at the same job for 5 years. I worked at Five Below. And then one day my boss was like, you need to do something different. I'm like, okay. She's like, you got 2 weeks to figure it out. I'm like,
oh shit.
Literally. Oh shit. Okay. So I got and yeah. No, we're cool though. I still work there, so she wasn't ever gonna. My boss and I have a great relationship. No, Coysbrook and Five Below, I worked a lot. I met Sheila.
What kind of work did you do at when you left Five Below? What work did you go on to?
I started landscaping. It was very different, an eye opener. Eye opener per se, but A body opener. Yeah, definitely. I went home the first week. I'm like,
Oh my God.
here? I'm physically here right now because I feel like I died and I'm sleeping. Like what?
Yo, I can't imagine. Listen, these hands, they write. Okay. I'm just no. What was the first week like? You said like your body was hurting. How long did it take you to get used to being a landscaper?
It didn't take me long, if I'm being honest. Maybe like a week or two to like fully adjust myself. Like I've never not been active. Even at Five Below, I was in freight all the time, so I was constantly moving. I was like a miscellaneous employee. I ran freight. I did the front end, back end, cleaned the store, like everything. So I've never not been active. It was very different though, like using muscles that I didn't think I would need again.
Word. So getting back to 2020, if you can think back to when 2020 started last year, did you make a New Year's resolution last year? And is it different from this year? Did you make a resolution both years?
A New Year's resolution last year was to not make a resolution, because every year that I make a resolution, it just slips through my fingers. So this year I was just like, you know what? I'm really just going to wing it and see what happens. I'm either
2020 or 2021?
2020.
Okay, you just wung it. That's 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna wing it. See what happens.
Mm-hmm. And I did. And honestly, 2020 was the worst year for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. It was a really good year for me.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Well, you are dating my niece, my Sheila Bean. So full disclosure, Savannah is dating my niece, my Sheila Bean, who I love very, very much. I don't know this story. So how did you guys meet? I know Sheila's in the back. I don't care.
So she was my ex's best friend. Yeah, she did not really tell me the whole truth about Sheila, so I kind of had a misperception of Sheila and everything. And after the breakup, I just made amends with a lot of the people that I had wronged during our breakup. Like, I said a lot of sorry to a lot of people. Sheila was one of them. We started hanging out. We got close. Some drama happened, so I kind of just did my own thing and let her do her, And then Thanksgiving, I was super drunk. She tweeted something. I was like, "Hey, I'm drunk already. Don't feel bad." And then, like, ever since then, we've been close friends, and we like genuinely friends. You know what I mean? Like best friends. I would go over. She would cook dinner. We would smoke. We would laugh. Fun and games.
Yay. Okay. All right. 2020, it started off, we were all really fucking optimistic, man. More so than we should have been. What is one thing about 2020 that you were just like, for sure, this is going to happen? And then, no. You can say like going outside if you want, because that was the thing we all thought we were going to do.
No. I really thought people would honestly like get it together and just try and be nice to one another. You know what I mean? Because like we're all forced to be fucking inside. We really have no idea who's dealing with what in whose house. So why society has gone this far downhill this year is really beyond me.
Same.
But I just sit back and look at the world and I'm just like, wow, this is really what it's come to? Like, are you serious? Are you serious, bro? Like,
just throw it up. Here you go. Time to pause and drink, guys.
And some wine, too. Oh, we're going to do it. See, I really don't mean to poop on all the wine drinkers, but wine is not for me.
But what? I missed that last part.
Wine is not for me. Wine coolers are for me.
No. Savannah.
This wine, though, it's not bad. Barefoot, fruit Scotto, strawberry, y'all. Get hip.
Nice. I got this one. turning the wrong way. Yeah, I got this one for you. I try to get so I'm just trying new wines, and I'm starting with red wine because I almost always get white wine. So now whenever I do an Uncorked with tea, I pick a wine according to whoever the guest is, and this reminded me of you, of your generation.
I don't know who that is, but the Uprising, like that.
Exactly.
I see it.
There's so many young people, and first of all, me saying young people feels fucking weird. Okay, when people are in their 30s and 40s, you're just like, we were just there.
Literally,
we were just there. What?
Right? Like blink and it's gone.
And it's gone. But there's so many young people who are out there kicking ass and taking names. Don't give a flying fuck.
Ooh.
What is it about? What do you think it is about your generation that is so willing to say fuck it and just go do it?
Trauma. Mm-hmm. Trauma will either hold you back or it will send you forward like you wouldn't believe. This generation, I feel, much like any other generation, this is the generation I pay closest attention to because we're almost next in line for how we're going to shape the world for our kids and such, you know what I mean? So I feel like this generation is really taking their trauma and running with it, or they're running from it. And it shows.
Jay said we are still young people. Yes, we are, sir.
You're only as young as you feel, honestly.
That's true. Damn true.
My sister looked at me. She's like, "You're 25." I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "You're halfway to 30." And I'm just like, "Stop that."
Great. Oh my God. It wasn't until like 32 that I started to just be like, oh my God, I don't give a fuck.
Right?
Just don't give a fuck. It's so wonderful to just be like, oh, you don't like me. I don't give a fuck. Oh, that's so nice.
It's so freeing to really not give a fuck. Like, oh, the last fuck. Here it goes.
Here it goes.
Bye.
Let it fly.
Never
let the last fly. So, speaking about 2020 and moving on and not giving a fuck. So I think one of the many things that 2020 is known for, and maybe even before, is cancel culture. So canceling people for numerous of things. What do you think are some of the pros and cons of cancel culture? And if you were, what do you think of some of the pros and cons of cancel culture? And if you were given a magic cancel culture button, how would you use it? And would you abuse it? Yes or no? That's a lot of questions, I know.
My ADHD is like bing, 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 bing. Okay, so cancel culture button. Two things I'm at a toss up with, you know what I mean? And one of those two things can stem into a multiple, like, different fraction of things, but the other is solid, solidified racism. Cancel that shit. What the fuck? The other is addiction and homelessness. Like, we need to do something about that. We need to really.
Speaking of addiction, I wish I had the article in front of me, and I don't, and I could Google it, but I'll get back to that. So I heard on NPR, because I'm an avid NPR listener. I love it so much. I'm going to get a tote bag one day. Anyway, so they were talking about how President Trump has just passed either a provision or a law giving more money to help people with addiction. Which, shut up, Marie. She called me a dork. So with that, we all know when we talk about cancel culture that we usually cancel something or something for a reason. So if Trump has made things a little bit easier for people who are addicted, do we still cancel him? Or do we let him stay around because he made something easier for one section of the population? That's a very hard question. I'm so sorry. It just popped in my head.
No, it's a good question. It's a very loaded question. Personally, if there was a way around Trump, I would absolutely cancel him. Like, without a doubt. You gotta go, bro. Like, take your orange ass and get out of here. Go somewhere else. Like, please.
Yeah.
But like, if somebody were to maybe like actually listen to he says very little good things, very, very little, but when he does, like, some of it makes sense. And like, I'm not supporting him, I'm not trying to back him, but like, some of the things he does is not terrible. I like what you just said. Like, I don't support Trump. I'm not a Trump supporter, but like, if he, and I have no political background, so like, I have no education on the area in which we're speaking. So I think like, if somebody were to improvise and adapt the things that he thinks are good, you know what I mean? Like, handling addiction and all of those things, it's still cancel Trump. But if somebody were to better his ideals and ideals, you know what I mean? Like, improvise, adapt them, make them better so they work for everybody, not just one person. And like, I don't know.
If you could take that idea and leave the Trump, you would.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Gotcha.
Absolutely.
You know what? I'm going to skip that question. What is, speaking of, I need to be objective. Okay. So, speaking of Trump, what is the first thing that went across your head, that went through your head when you saw the terrorists? That's what they are. When you saw the terrorists storming the Capitol, like, what's the first thing that went through your mind? And let's talk about it, because I'll tell you the first thing that went through mine. Oh God, now I have to know.
I can't say it on your show. I really can't. I'll message you about it later, but I can't say this.
This is no holds barred. Like, we're drinking wine, do whatever the fuck you want.
I would like to know why the Capitol building had such little security that they let someone with no arms and no legs roll up into that motherfucker. I want to know why, like, all of that happened. How?
Go on, baby. You got it. Go on.
I get so fucking mad because that's literally white privilege in an eggshell. Like, are you serious?
It's all right. Let it out, baby. Let it out.
I have no words. Like, what? I'm baffled at, like, the audacity. Like, how can we as people try to come together in a situation that is brought by nothing but pure tragedy? Like, and then we have Trump trying to, like, make a joke out of that. You know what I mean? Like, we have the Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. See them all.
It's all right. Take your time.
You got me going. So, like, how can you take the Black Lives Matter movement and basically
shit on it,
make a mockery out of it by putting this tweet out there and saying, "Hey, I'm chilling at the Capitol. I'm president still. Come on. Let's see what you got." What? How? Why? Like, how do people still support him? I don't understand. I really don't understand. I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. Like, they're so all. How can people call the Black Lives Matter movement a group of terrorists when the same people are those same terrorists?
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Yeah.
I read one article in depth, and I really should have thought twice about the site that I got it off of, because I got it off of CNN. But that one article that I read in depth literally made so much light of the situation that it was just
yeah,
it was like an everyday thing. You know what I mean? Like, they did not once call these people terrorists. They did not once, it was a bunch of accusations, and
that's what his administration has done to us. We've been so bombarded by consistent bullshit and just blatant hatred and racism and white supremacy that when this happened, everyone else is just like, oh, well, this makes sense. This is the obvious end to his presidency. Where do you think we're going after here? So be objective. So Trump supporters stormed the Capitol building, and now Trump has been, what's the word I'm looking for?
Impeached.
Thank you.
Twice.
He's been impeached twice, right?
Only president in history.
It's only fitting. It's only fitting. Where do you think we go from here? Can we go back to normal, quote unquote, normal politics? Is Biden's administration in for a rude awakening? Are we just going to flip a switch and then we go back to 2015 when shit makes sense? Or are we broken forever as a nation? That is a huge question. I'm so sorry. I just don't shit.
Okay. I would like to say that I have enough confidence and information and knowledgeable background to say anything about politics, but I really this is all my opinion and personal beliefs. I believe that it takes one person to make a difference, but that one person has to be backed by so many other different people who want the same differences.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
And it's all a chain effect. So I feel like Trump has done a lot of damage to this country, a lot, morally, economically, I don't know, again, but morally, and just in a literal opening your eyes sense, you really see not your average Joe's true colors. You wouldn't ever think twice about somebody walking down the street next to you, but then you're looking at him are you a racist, homophobic piece of shit? Or can I just be myself in front of you and not have to worry about it? You know,
I do know.
I hope with all of my heart that Biden can do a lot of good things for this country, in the sense that he can get it somewhat back to even a decent state. Even a decent state, because right now we're in fucking shambles. What the hell? Aliens are looking at us like, Jesus Christ, what is this? Season 17 of what the fuck is this? I really hope with all my heart that Biden can get this country to somewhat decency, and he can bring good things to us for the economy, for racism, for equal rights, just for everybody, you know? I hope Biden does something, a little something for everybody, not just,
Yeah, I'm a little iffy. So I voted for in the general, right? Yeah. I voted for Elizabeth Warren because I love her brain. Mm-hmm. I love that she is a logical thinking person. So I wanted her to win, but I would have been happy with Bernie, of course, obviously. But we got stuck with stuck with this, right? We got stuck with Joe Biden, who is 175 years old. I'm not being ageist. I'm just saying he's the oldest president that we've ever had.
Isn't it 75, 6? Something. He's something.
Right? And so what we've seen is, I think the idea is that older people are more conservative,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So with him coming out and speaking to the public right after, during the Capitol riots, saying that the first time he came out, he said that this isn't us. And I was like, well, this is exactly us. You haven't been paying attention. And then, one of his staffers was like, it's actually us. You weren't paying attention. And he came out and made a different statement. So I'm just trying to think of, because 2020 and the 4 years before it with the Trump administration has been so absolutely nutso, have things, should we start looking at each situation um, with its own lens? So thinking back to cancel culture, should we get rid of the blanket what cancel culture is, or should we go like case by case basis and learn how to break down what's wrong with the situation in order to move past it and forward? I think that's a thing that the Biden administration is starting to do. I'm starting to see that in their campaign and in the way that they talk to the public, that they're trying to handle each situation in the case basis, which is great. I'm happy with it. Should we follow suit? Should we, as everyday people, start treating each situation by cases basis? Should we get rid of the blanket way of handling a situation?
Yeah, because to me it seems like cancel culture is just a way to shove everything under the carpet and not talk about it, and just, like, it's done. You know what I mean? We don't have to deal with it. It's done. It's over. But I feel like if we addressed it right then and there and like truly came with the hard education and learned from it, we wouldn't have to cancel so many things. And because like so many good things are being canceled too. Like a lot of like, I've noticed cancel culture is affecting like good people and businesses and different things. And it's silly and weird, but like there's some things that we might just have to educate, but like keep somewhere. You know what I mean? So they can't come out of their little box.
So, do you like
magazines?
Do you listen to the Breakfast Club? I'm a huge Breakfast Club listener, and I love Charlamagne the God. Love Charlamagne the God. He has this great quote about cancel culture, which is, "Don't cancel, counsel." Should we be taking the time between each situation to not only try to hear where the other side is coming from, but try to teach them? And is it too late? Is it too late to teach some people?
It's never too late for anything, in my honest opinion. Yeah, it's really, there's never a wrong time or even a right time. There's always the right time, because it's always the time.
It's always a good time to do the right thing.
Especially if you're trying to do the right thing and educate about all the good this world has to offer. Yeah.
No, I agree.
Definitely, yeah.
So going over to some of the comments, Jay said, "I don't think we have the ability to do that as a country," which is do case by case basis, and I think that's what he's talking about. Let me know if I'm wrong, Jace. Sheila said, "Because so many people and cases don't deserve to be canceled because it's perceived wrong." And yes, I think perception of a sector or a different kind of people, the perception of different groups of people are what's holding us back. Let's get rid of the labels, get rid of the perception, and get to know the person. That's just me personally. Sheila said, where some people deserve to be canceled and are not. Yes, I think like Bill Cosby, cancel that motherfucker. He's got to go. Okay? R. Kelly, canceled. Done. No, you go. We don't need you. But if I didn't know their case, would I feel the same way? like we all heard about Bill Cosby. We've all listened to the women, and we all heard about R. Kelly. We've all listened to the girls. We know what his situation is, and it's warranting canceling. Deuces, don't need you. You're horrible. I think that way of moving forward is important. What's the last time you said, fuck that, you're canceled?
Shut up. She's over there in the kitchen saying, Jeffree Star. Fucking.
I don't know who that is.
Educate yourself. Oh my goodness. He needs to be canceled. Like, right. With the quickness, he needs to be canceled. But no. Like, general speaking, or like in terms of the world?
Well, his name is Jeffree Star. I have no idea who that is.
I'm surprised you've never heard of Jeffree Star, like the makeup guru. Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Nothing.
Look at this face. Oh, there's nothing about this face that says makeup.
Well, you have Facebook and female friends. I shouldn't say female.
No, I honestly haven't heard about him. Who is he?
I feel like everybody should know who Jeffree Star is for the simple fact that he's ignorant and racist and disgusting. And there was something else about Jeffree Star that I really did not like, but it's the blatant racism and ignorance for me.
Oh, thank you, Jace. Jay said I don't need makeup, but he's very cool. He's a nice guy.
That's why you wouldn't know about it. But.
Yeah, I never. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm definitely gonna look up Jeffree Star. Thank you for that, because I want to know who that guy is.
Him and what's his name? Shane Dawson. Shane Dawson. Cancel that motherfucker too.
Shane who?
Dawson.
Shane Dawson. I'm gonna go on a fucking cancel Googling tonight. Let's do this.
And Gucci. Why?
Are we talking? Which part of Gucci are we talking about?
Blackface. Why did we not cancel Gucci right there?
Lord have mercy. You got to go. Yes, I remember that fresh bullshit. That don't make no sense in 2020.
That's so old. That is still very relevant. Why did we not cancel that shit right then and there? Why are still people rocking Gucci shit? What?
Who don't know that? Who don't know you shouldn't wear blackface?
She just said something in the kitchen because Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson came out with a video that I guess is called Blackface in reference to that.
The fuck?
I'm not sure if it was in reference to that, but they made a video where they pretty much put a bunch of makeup on their face and like were making fun of the blackface like scenario and like thought it was great and hilarious and posted a YouTube video and was like, hey, everybody watch my video.
I have not seen said video. I am going to hold all the anger.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
Speaking about racism, so I grew up black. Surprise, surprise. I grew up in a black household. Surprise, surprise. And my parents were very Afrocentric. We had pictures of Black Jesus and Kennedy and MLK in my house. I don't know why, but black parents fucking love Kennedy. I don't know why.
I don't know why.
But I grew up very Afrocentric and very knowledgeable about racism, not just in my neighborhood, but in my surroundings. I knew what to look for. I know what not to look for. It was a way for my parents to teach me how to stay alive. How did you, as a white person, did you grow up talking about race and racism when you were a kid? And when was the first time you remember hearing what racism was and how did it affect you?
I've always been pretty open to talking about race and racism as like a child. Like I've always been one to get picked on. So me being one to get picked on really incented me to stick by somebody else who was also getting picked on. So in that sense, I've never like looked at anybody and saw them for anything that they got picked on for, you know what I mean? Like, you can't help who you are, you can't help what you like, that kind of thing. So the first time that I was like, I don't really know if this was a question, but the first time I was openly exposed to racism, it did not sit well with me. I've always been outspoken yet soft-spoken. I don't really like conflict or being the center of attention, but like I do like attention and stuff. So but the first time I was openly exposed to racism, I think I was about 10 turning 11. I was in Kmart with my mom and we were checking out, and I remember looking over and this guy was being harassed for no really apparent reason. He was in line waiting to purchase his things, and he was being harassed for because one of the workers came up to him and was like, "Do you have your receipt for that?" And they were like, "I'm in line waiting to pay for it. What do you mean?" So I like paid attention and I just watched, and he was like, "Well, I saw you walk around. You've been in here for a while and you've had that thing in your hand. So I was just wondering if you had a receipt." And at that point I had like really like, I'm a kid. I didn't know any better. My mom wasn't paying attention to me. I was staring like just watching it all unfold. This guy, I was a little kid, but he was beautiful. You know what I mean? Like he was tall, dark skinned, like his skin glowed. The melanin, pop, boom. I was like, oh, he's pretty. But he looked like he was very uncomfortable. And I didn't really know like what racism was, other than the fact that you don't like that man because he doesn't look like us. You know what I mean? But like us is not, I don't like that term, because us as a whole, we are all one. We're all people. So it's us. You don't like him because he's not white. Like, why? That makes no sense. So I was taken back. I was like, Mom, do you hear that? Like, are you watching this shit? She's like, yo, watch your mouth. What the fuck? What's up? And she's like, paying attention. She's like, okay. And then guy leaves and he gets up behind me and puts his stuff down, takes his cash out, gets his stuff ready. Manager comes up with the other worker that was harassing him. He's like, gonna ask for that receipt one more time. Sorry. And at that point, I had been paying attention. I was like, look, this man is standing here waiting to buy whatever he was holding. He's waiting to buy this. He's been here. He's been standing in line. I've been watching y'all. Like, I'm little. My mom's like, go ahead, girl. Go ahead. She's like, yeah, he's been here. Like, he's not, you guys need to move along. Like, you're really making a big to-do out of nothing, and it's not going to look good on your part, especially if, you know, like my mom would have done something serious, and she should have. My mom's not my mom, but you know. But yeah, that was the first time I was like, that kind of stuff happens, and Mom was like, it does, sadly, and you really need to like make sure that it does not happen around you. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, do not ever be those people. Like, you help people, you love people. Do not ever be those people. I'm like, okay. So,
and you were, what, 11, you said?
Yeah, 10, turn 11. I was little. I could have been younger than that, could have been older. I didn't really have the greatest childhood, so I tried not to.
And you still remember that? That was a prominent moment in your childhood that you remember how racism made you feel in that moment.
Yeah, because it was just like, I don't know, it made me feel like when I was like a little kid getting picked on again. I was like, he's a grown-ass man. I can only imagine how he's crawling in his skin right now. So it made no sense to me. Sheila just said read some of the comments, I guess.
Yeah, I wanted to get to that. Thank you, Sheila Bean. Yay. So Amanda Saget, hi Amanda. She's so much fun. She said, I was raised with zero racism. It was so hard to understand it was a real thing. I totally get that. If you were a white person in the 70s, 80s, 90s, we didn't start really openly talking about racism as to the white community as a country maybe 10 years ago. We've been saying this shit forever, in different pockets of society, but like maybe about 10 years ago, it became not only acceptable, but a thing that, some mainstream news organizations would talk about. This last year, 2020, everybody's talking about racism. And we're all, black people, we're like, where the fuck y'all been? We know about this shit.
Actually,
good.
I think it definitely, yeah. I grew up in two very different households. My mom and dad, they didn't work out, but they're still really good friends. Like, they're still cool. They're still cordial. They still love each other. My dad got remarried, and I have all the love in the world for my stepmom. She's a great woman. She really, she's put her foot forward when it came to raising me. But I grew up in two very different households because my mom had her ways of parenting and my stepmom had another. And I'm not saying like my stepmom's a bad person or a bad parent, because she's amazing. She's great. I think because my mom's parents are also very different from my stepmother's parents, and I think their upbringing also did a lot for my parents' upbringing. In a sense where, like, I'm not going to say that it wasn't racism, because it definitely made me uncomfortable, but I dated this kid for a while back in 8th grade, and he's a black kid. I thought nothing of it. Like, he made me happy. He was nice. He was kind. He was great. He made me laugh. We're still very good friends to this day. But I remember when I told my mom, she was like, okay, cool, bring him over for dinner. Like, let me get to know him. I want to see who's making my daughter so happy at such a young age. I'm like, all right, you're being weird now. So then I told my stepmom and my dad, and my dad's my dad. He's like, cool, whoever makes you happy, I'm happy with. My stepmom really looked at me and was like, you're dating a black kid? I was like, yeah. That's like a thing you can do. And it's normal. Like, why did that even come out of your mouth? I was very confused. I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and not let this be a thing again. Yes, I am. Please don't say something like that to me again, because that just shouldn't have been a thing. She's like, okay. I think I had her stumped a little bit, because like I don't really tell people where to go or how to get there. Up until now. Now I love it.
Now. Jay said, try to read Carissa's comment if you can. So let's go back to Carissa's comment.
I can't see any comments. Is that okay? Or is that like what?
Oh, yeah. No, this is great. Like, please, all the comments. My 9-year-old had a little boy tell me he doesn't play with white kids. My son was heartbroken. He asked the kid to play because they both had glasses. It was a tough but teachable moment. Ooh, Carissa, listen, we can have a whole goddamn segment about this right here. So I wish, oh my God, Carissa, I have a million fucking questions for you. I would love to talk to you in depth about this situation, because I have been here before. I've been the little black kid who doesn't play with white kids for my own like safety, So I grew up, for those who don't know, I grew up on Long Island, in New York, in Freeport. And Freeport is a very, racist town. The black people live on the north side, white people live on the south side. It's been like that forever. That's how it is. There were race riots back when my mom was younger. They didn't teach it in school because why the fuck would they? So it's a thing that I was taught to just kind of stay with your own. And this was taught out of safety because shit can get real fucking quick. So, Carissa, I'm so sorry this happened to your son. This is fucking horrible. You know, the fact that this shit is happening in this decade is disgusting. We should be done with this shit. Okay? I'm so sorry that your kid had to go through this shit. Like that, that's very fucking painful. Carissa, I'm gonna hit you up. We're gonna talk about this because this is not that it's interesting, but I would love to talk to you about it, to open it more. So, Savannah, when I think about racism, there's a part of me that just says, duh. You know, it's a thing. It's always been a thing. It will most likely always be a thing because it's always been a thing in my life. I don't see it changing. What do you think it would take to change the idea of racism? The idea of, you know what? That question has no answer. Sorry, let me go back.
Nah.
What would you personally contribute to abolishing the idea of racism? Because it's the idea and the ideals of white supremacists, of racists, of people who think that they are better than others because of the color of their skin that keeps white supremacy not only in the news 24/7, but it keeps this idea of racism in our lives. So what is it that you, ally, because I consider you an ally, and hopefully you consider yourself that.
Absolutely.
What will you personally contribute to abolishing the idea and ideals of racism?
I think if we had a better fucking attitude about it, and I mean we as in white people, like, some of the people that I have had altercations with on the internet have been predominantly white and very, very ignorant, mostly ignorant. So it truly frustrates me for the simple fact that, like, you really won't even try to listen to my reason right now. Like, I am sitting here in your face telling you that the way you are speaking, the words you are using is clearly making someone very uncomfortable. Like, and you won't hear it. Why? Why is it so hard for you to not hear what you're doing wrong? You know, like, my best friend in the whole world. We've been friends for 7 years now, I think a little longer. She has been probably one of my biggest influencers in the sense that, like, in the world sense. I like to think I know a lot of things, but I don't. Everyone can learn something from somebody. She has gotten me to see the world differently, like, with racism in a whole. I had a really bad problem saying the N-word, and I don't like to admit that because it makes me feel like a terrible person, you know, like, and I would never use it derogatorily, but that's besides the point. You just don't use that. You know what I mean? You don't say it.
Never.
No. And she really was just like, you know, I'm not about to tell you what you can and cannot say, but I would appreciate it big time appreciate it if you just didn't say it in general, but especially do not say it around me, because I'm not the one. I was like, okay, I hear you like 100%. I really do. You know, like, she's gotten me to see things differently about addiction and other things, but like racism, I think if we all had a better fucking attitude about it, it would be easier to try and teach. It shouldn't even be a thing to say, but it would be easier to try and teach why it's wrong. Like,
yeah.
The fact of the matter is, it's wrong, point blank, period. Like, that's all there is to it. You shouldn't need much more of a fucking explanation than that. Like, I don't get it, but yeah.
So do you still say the N-word, or have you stopped saying it?
I stopped saying it.
So I want to explore that a little bit, because I grew up on Long Island, lots of black people, lots and lots of black people. My whole circle was black. And I moved to the Cape, and I was just like, wow, what the fuck? And my circle became extremely white. And that was the first time that I've been exposed to white culture in a way where I could see how their whiteness affected them in their everyday lives, and how the things that they could do, the things that I couldn't. So thinking back, because I think a lot of growing up isn't just learning, it's also talking about what growth is, and then sharing that growth. So I think it's important that you learn that word was wrong to say, but what made you think it was right to say in the first place? How did you get there?
Nobody ever really told me it was wrong. Nobody like ever took the time to like try and educate me and be like, look, that makes me uncomfortable. And I don't know if it was because I can't even blame it on the age, you know what I mean? Because like, if something makes you uncomfortable, it makes you uncomfortable from the jump. So I don't know why I was so comfortable to say it, and I'm incredibly grateful that I'm no longer comfortable saying it at all, because it just it's not cute. It really it's not. Like, you're so ignorant. I was so ignorant, and I can't even like yeah, I'm super
learning is hard. I think we don't put enough emphasis on the energy it takes to learn, because it's difficult. Habits die hard, but there are some things that I think should be taught, not just in school, but in society. Like, if there was like a societal class, like, that should be at the top of the fucking list. Don't say the N-word unless you're black. I personally don't use the N-word. There are very, very seldom circumstances when I do, and you have to be a horrible person for me to do. But it's not a word that I regularly use. But I would never police other black people using it. Use it any way you want if you're black. I don't give a shit. If you're white, we have a problem.
Yeah.
But so Sheila, Marie put in the comments, T, that's me. T and I have very mature arguments about this subject, about using the N-word. And we have. And Marie is my best friend. I'll stab a bitch in a heartbeat for her. I fucking love her. And we had this grown-up conversation about why it's not okay for her to say it. When was the last time you had a conversation with someone, not particularly just the N-word, but a grown-up conversation that these kind of conversations, I think, have to come from a place of intellectual growth and intelligence. Also, are y'all drinking Uncorkers? You're cute. These conversations come from a place of intellectual, emotional intelligence. When was the last time that you said something was wrong and you stood behind that thing, and then the person you were talking to learn how to move through it together. Because I think the more we ask these kinds of questions, the more an idea of a blueprint we get on how to speak to each other that we care about, to the people that we care about what bothers us and how we move forward. The more that we have these conversations about what this blueprint looks like, I believe personally, the further we would get as a society. Oh, the question. Do you want me to repeat it? I'm sorry.
I kind of remember the last time I had a mature conversation, because they're really, I don't get many mature conversations out of people on the internet nowadays, but that's really the only time I like have the opportunity to try and correct somebody, because I feel like a lot of people are gathering to not slip up around me. I'm not with that shit. But the last time I had a mature conversation, I think it was mature, was when I tried to correct somebody on a post they had shared about Blue Lives Matter.
All right. Hold on. Wait, I'm getting empty.
She had to drink for this.
Go ahead.
So I have a very hard time with saying fuck 12 and not fuck 12, because you know what I mean? Like, it's fuck 12 in a sense that, like, police brutality, fuck 12. But like, for the good cops out there who are trying to better the outlook and everything they do, you know what I mean? Like, my uncle's a police officer, so I have a very hard time with appeasing to everybody, if that makes sense. But
yes,
I'm gonna be 25. Blue lives don't exist. Sorry.
Marie just said that. And Jace, I'm so sorry that I mentioned that the uncorkers, and there's a bunch of texts that he said before that. I'm not ignoring you, buddy. That's just the first thing that caught my eye. I'm sorry. And I interrupted you. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
I like that.
Thank you. I was on Facebook, and she started a repost and was like, Blue Lives Matter, something, something, something. She's like, I'll say it since no one else will. Blue Lives Matter. I was like, I was very respectful, you know what I mean? Like, it has taken me a long time to get to where I am when it comes to conducting myself on the internet. I really try to think with my head and not just with my feelings, because if I go into it with my feelings flying, then shit's gonna get misconstrued and messy. So I was just like, I don't really respect how you feel. Blue lives do not exist. That is a conscious choice you make when you apply for the job. Like, you know damn well what you're signing up for when you know what I mean? Like, I just, yeah, I did. Sorry.
We're chilling, we're busy right now, right?
She asked me if I fed the cat. Yes, I fed the cat. Fuck.
No, don't starve your cat.
But yeah, I wish I could like go back and find the screenshots, because I still have them. I was just like, Blue lives like don't exist, point blank, period. You signed up for that job. You knew what you were doing. Black people cannot fucking take their skin off at the end of the day.
Can't, not a thing. Stop.
And I'm so sorry if you happen to be a black officer, because I respect you so much. If you are a person of color in that line of work, it is probably so hard for you right now. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine the kind of daily dilemma you face every day. But at the same time, like, it is a career that you very much chose. And these other people out here that are getting brutally killed because of your negligence, they can't fucking change a goddamn thing about themselves.
It shouldn't have to.
They should. And that's the fucking point. That's what infuriates me the most is like, why is that? It's the most duh thing about racism. Like, why? What the fuck? I just.
Yeah. Getting to some of the comments. Listen, it is lively in these comments today. Thank y'all so much for getting on this debate. So Marie said, Marie said, Our debate was more about everyone should stop saying the N-word. It started as a negative word just to get rid of. Love you, buddy. We can talk about that later. I do think that Black people have the right to say the N-word. They can say it as much as they want. I personally choose not to say it. But yes.
I can't,
because like I still have family that's just like, hey, and I'm like, listen, guys.
Guys.
So you can say it. Don't say it to me about me. Like, I don't like that at all. It is listen, you think this is a weird conversation. Boy, oh boy. Marie said no one's fucking blue. Yeah. Sheila said no such thing as blue life. Yes.
You're not a fucking Smurf!
Jay said it shouldn't be Blue Lives Movement. No, it shouldn't be a Lives Matter movement. Yes, Jace, I fucking agree with you. There should be no such thing as a Lives Matter moment because every life fucking matters. But they can't until Black Lives Matter. It's so insane that we have to fucking say this.
It's literally, it's disgusting. Disgusting. That was another very mature argument I got into somebody. All lives matter. I'm like,
no shit, fuckface. We're not saying that they don't. We're just saying that right now, Black lives are in jeopardy for the fact that they're just Black. That's the only reason.
Literally, it was just like, and like, oh my God, I can't.
Murray said there's no comparison. Jay said, you are sworn to protect the people. That means all the people. Say it again, son.
Literally.
All the fucking people. God damn it. Samantha said, Blue Lives Matter was simply made up to take away from Black Lives Matter, and it was proven when the same people screaming Blue Lives Matter stormed the Capitol and beat officers.
Yes.
Samantha,
yes, bitch.
that's what you get. Wait, I got the fucking.
Wait, Samantha who?
Samantha. Oh, honey, I'm gonna ruin your name. Houghton. Samantha Houghton.
What?
This person.
I know a Samantha.
Sydney Maddox said, "Love you, Sav."
Oh yes, girl. I love you, boo. I miss you. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in.
Thank you, Sydney. I mean, I love you too. Whatever. Yeah. Oh, she said yes. I said I said Samantha Houghton's name right. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah. All right. So this has been like a super, super heavy conversation. So before we leave, let's lighten it up a little bit because we are drinking and we want people to leave and drink happy. So here's to you, buddy.
I need more.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, thanks, babe.
So I want to ask a fun,
Thank you,
weird question. Carissa Valvo, me too. Well, fuck yeah. Oh, Jay said, yo, I wish I was on this shit. And then Carissa said, yeah. I wish you were too, bro.
Me too.
So, okay. All right. Savannah. So it is 2021. Mm-hmm. We are headed steadfast into a new administration. The Trump administration is packing their shit as we speak. Now, I'm trying to be objective, but I can't wait for that motherfucker to go. I cannot wait. So, damn it, I almost went down the serious road. Let's come back to the fun road. So, upcoming in 2021, what are you looking forward to? And have you, like everyone else, been praying that Betty White lives forever? Because whenever I see a meme, I'm just like, is Betty okay?
Stop. You gonna jinx it.
I am gonna knock on something. I'm so sorry. Everybody knock on something. Knock on some wood. I'm so sorry, gods. Please keep Betty White safe.
Betty White's my bitch. I hear you knocking over there.
I'm knocking.
If you could prepare yourself for anything great in 2021, if you were doing the Hunger Games of greatness, what the fuck would that great thing be for you in 2021? What the fuck are you looking forward to? What's going to bring you joy? What are you going to kick in the nuts? What's going to keep you going? What does your 2021 look like? Because we're just January and things have been just great. Just great so far. So what does your 2021 look like? And if 2021 were a journey, what fictional character would you bring with you?
Fictional? Oh my
God. What fictional character would you bring on the journey of 2021?
Okay.
And that's for everyone. Everyone throw your answers in the comments.
The thing that I look most forward to about 2021 is honestly getting a therapist. It's been a long time coming. It needs to happen. It's going to happen this year. I'm speaking it into existence. And I really, oh man. I think I would have to bring I definitely have to bring Mickey from Shameless into my 2021.
So I haven't seen Shameless in a while. Which one is Mickey?
He is Ian's boyfriend. The one with the black hair.
Yeah, who's Ian? I need more.
The redhead. Ian Gallagher, the bipolar one.
Gotcha. Okay. I didn't know he had a boyfriend.
I just passed the season where they like became exclusive, so I'm
that's
still a super late bloomer in Shameless. Or it would be Edward Cullen, because I've been on a super Edward binge lately. I've been reading Midnight Sun.
Nice. You and I were talking about that.
It's a really good book.
Yeah.
Very good.
Jason's gonna like laugh so hard. I would definitely bring like Poetic Justice Janet Jackson with me. Yes. I would absolutely bring
that bitch.
Yes. That's who I would bring on my 2021 journey, because like Janet Jackson and Poetic Justice, whose name was Justice, was so like laid back, but kind of like don't start nothing, won't be nothing. That's the kind of person I want with me on the journey. Like a person who's cool as fuck, but when shit get real, they can light up with you. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. Jay said, "Oh my God, the fucking sound has been passed on." So I used to make this sound whenever I talked about Janet, and poor Jace, like, you know, Jason and I have been friends for like 15 years. I used to make this sound curdling, this, I don't know, this very loud pitch sound.
I just did.
I love Janet so very much.
I don't know if this came out my mouth.
Yeah. Before we go, Jace, thank you, buddy. I didn't. Whew. That sound was awesome, Jace. Okay. It was fun, and not everyone cried when I did it. And that sounds like a positive. Yeah. So I didn't remember. Thank you for reminding me. This Tuesday is KJ's birthday, the 19th. And for those of you who don't know, KJ Morris was one of the 49 murdered in the Orlando shooting back in, God, Chase, what years was that? Was that 2018? No, it was, it was before that. It was before 2016. Oh my God, it's been so long. Oh,
I think everybody knows it as Pulse.
Yeah. So Tuesday is KJ's birthday. So I would like what I'm asking everyone watching to do in order to honor this birthday. Um, if you have someone who's LGBTQ plus IA, tell them that you love them. Tell them that you appreciate them. Give them an ear to talk to. Give them a shoulder to lean on. Be open and honest. Every day is not guaranteed, and life is much harder when you're part of the alphabet mafia. That's who we fucking are. Life is harder, and it's not a choice, it's just who we are, and we shouldn't be murdered because of it. So tell the people who are LGBTQ plus IA in your life that you love them. So that is my request. I'm sorry, we were supposed to go happy, but
I was happy.
2020. Jay said we can do a live if you want when we change the tapestry of our house. Yes, we can, bro. So Jace has this beautiful, beautiful painting that changes. First of all, Jace, tell me who painted it, because I don't know who the painter is, but there's a mural of KJ, and there's like 4 different fucking ways you can look at it, and artistically it is mind-blowingly gorgeous and just a gem. It's a gem. So I would fucking love that. I would fucking love that. So I'm gonna ask you another question.
Sure.
And I'm gonna try to make it happy. Then we're gonna end on that. Thank you guys so much so far for staying with us. It's been an hour and 11 minutes. Y'all are fucking troopers. We're gonna ask one more question, then we're gonna get up out of here. All right. Savannah. That can get emotional. Damn it. I always go for like deep. It's just who I am.
Go for it then.
Okay. Who was, you're 25, so you're so young. Who was the first person to see you the way that LGBTQIA, the way that we are unseen at times? Who was the first person to see you as who you are? And how has that person helped you build to the person you are right now?
Your niece.
My Sheila B. Yeah.
I struggle with my sexuality a lot more than probably anybody knows, if I'm being honest. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I still think it's like not really okay for me to dress the way I dress and act the way I act. I don't know why. I think therapy will help. But Sheila really has just only seen me for me. She's never questioned why I do something, why I dress this way. She's always just been like, I love you. All of my other partners and not even friends, because my friends, they don't care who I am as long as I'm happy with me. But pretty much all of my other partners are like, you got to figure out who you are. It's confusing. Like, get it together. This one, she's patient and she's kind and she gets it.
That's beautiful. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. I want you to know that and understand it. There is nothing wrong with you. You are a beautiful soul.
Thank you.
And you not knowing, quote unquote, who you are at 25 is normal. That's completely normal. I didn't figure out who I was until like 33. And even then I was kind of questioning. It's completely normal. There's nothing wrong with you. You are a beautiful soul. Don't you fucking forget it.
Thank you, T.
Beauty comes from within. Beauty has nothing to do with the outside. That's trivial. You don't need that. Don't worry about that. Beauty comes from within. And you're a beautiful soul.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I want you to know it. Don't just know it. Feel that shit. It's gonna take a while, bro. Let me tell you, it's gonna take a while. But what helped me, because I see so much of myself in you, what helped me was just being open and honest, like just talking. Poor Jace, like he knows. We've had many, many conversations where I just felt out of my skin and like I didn't fit in. And for a long time, I tried to be straight because I wanted to be anything else but gay. I just wanted to be like everybody else. But we're different. And different is good. Different is good. Different is good. There's nothing wrong with you. You are beautiful inside and out. I want you to know that on the inside. Beauty comes from within.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, y'all. So this is where we end. This is how we do Uncorked with T. Here's to you, you fucking beautiful soul.
Here's to you, you beautiful soul.
I want you guys to know that Savannah has been so incredibly open and honest, not just with her answers, but with her true self. And that is honorable because it is a very difficult thing to do. So cheers to you. Have a great night.
Love you.
Love you. Thank you guys so much for watching Uncorked with T. Hold up. Let me get this right quick. Yeah. Remember to tune in every Friday night at 7 p.m. Next week, we will have Goddess Warrior the Poet. She's a Chicago-based poet, entrepreneur, writer, everything. We're going to talk to her about her come up. She's been doing great things out here in the community. So we're going to talk to her next Friday. Look out for that. I want to thank my amazing guest, Savannah, who was so open and so honest. Excuse me. I think in our trying times, and anyone who says that we're not in trying times is not paying attention. In our trying times, it is important to have people speak their truth, even at their detriment, even at their own personal psychological pain. And that's what we saw tonight. So thank you, Savannah, for being honest about your truth in your life. And I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
You guys have a wonderful fucking weekend. Happy motherfucking Friday. Make sure you check out the podcast on Spreaker, Uncorked with T. You can find a podcast on most podcast platforms. Have a fucking awesome weekend. And go Yankees. I did that for you, Jace. All right. Have a good night, guys. Thank you. Wait, I got to find a button. Wait. She left.